Hi, my name is Chris Ryan. You've joined me here at the Belfry. We're in the Telemed Performance Centre, and the video today is looking at how we use the body through impact into the follow-through and how that can help you hit some better golf shots when you get out on the golf course. In the corner of the screen, you should also have the details for my Twitter, for my Facebook, and for my Instagram accounts. So please make sure you also go ahead and follow me on those. So we're looking in this video about how we pivot with the body through impact and into the finished position. And this is something I see golfers struggle with day in, day out here at the Academy. What we're going to look at really is how we extend the pelvis and how we use the upper body and how that can affect what the golf club does. So let's look at what we would expect to see in the finished position, and then we're going to go back and let's work on how we're going to get to that point. So if I was to view this from face on, or I should say you view this from face on, when I finish my golf swing, I would like you to feel that your belt buckle is facing the target, but your chest is facing a little bit more up towards the sky. So hopefully you can see that there's got a little bit of maybe extension or arch in my back, and that's making me feel like my chest is pointing a little bit more up towards the sort of sky or the ceiling here. My belt buckle is pointing at the target, as I said, and it's possibly further forward than certainly my chest and my head. So what do we tend to see quite a lot of? Well, I see a lot of golfers where they finish their golf swings a little bit more like this. So you can see here that my chest is now pointing more horizontally, possibly even a little bit more down towards the ground. And certainly my belt buckle is facing the target, but it's not closer to the target than my chest or my head. So this is a position we see quite often, and if I work into the position I would like you to be in, you can hopefully see the difference there. Now, the first question here would be, well, how does this really affect my golf shot? The ball's long gone, we're only really watching the golf ball, we're in our finished position, but it tells us a little bit about what's happened through the golf ball. We would like, through the golf ball, you to rotate, and as we start to strike the ball and go into our sort of extended position here, we would like to extend the pelvis, and what that does, it really helps the movement of the hands, which in turn really help the movement of the golf club. It also helps us transfer a little bit more energy through to that golf club. Those golfers who don't do that and who actually move the chest sort of more down would often find that the exit is different, the hand path is a little bit more round, and they often find that their strike isn't quite as consistent. They often find that they work the club a little bit across the golf ball, and that in turn gives them issues in their ball flights and in their direction. So the drill I want you to do is quite simple. And I only want you to do this over about 20 or 30 yards. So this is what we're going to get you to. I want you to take a starting position, and I'll do this without a ball to begin with, but then we'll introduce the golf ball. So I'm going to take my starting position, and all I'd like you to do is just move the club until your hands are over your trail thigh and the club is around about parallel to the ground, so almost a delivery position. So I'm just going to move the club to about here. So I haven't really moved my body too much, that's more a little bit of shoulder rotation and using my hands and my arms to just place the golf club. Now from here, without a backswing, I want you to feel that we make contact with the ground about where the ball would be, maybe target side of that, and then focus on getting the end position that we talked about, where my belt buckle faces the target and my chest faces the sky. So hopefully that's going to look a little bit like this. Club over right thigh, or sorry, hands over right thigh, and now I'm just going to make contact with the ground and find that end position. Now when I finish, I really feel like I'm arched backwards, and absolutely no problem in this drill to maybe over-exaggerate this feeling a little bit more, try and get that belt buckle pushing right towards the target and almost feeling that you're arching backward. I'm trying to create some feels here, so over-exaggerating this wouldn't be a bad thing during practice. Now, what we're doing here is by starting from here and going quite slowly, we're enabling you to feel a little bit more what's happening. Many of you might find that this wants to happen. You want to pull the hips back, chest goes more forwards, and what you'll find when that happens is the club starts to move a little bit more out towards the golf ball, and now when I try and hit the ground, it's definitely working more across to the left. So how we move the hip area and the pelvis is really going to have a huge effect, as I said earlier, on the movement of the golf club and therefore the club path. And we know that the club path is really important to control if we want to hit some nice straight shots. So try that again. So we're going to go over right thigh with the hands, club parallel, and I'm now going to try and hit the ground. Belt buckles are going to rotate to the target, chest is going to go more up towards the sky. And that's my feeling there. Now, once you've done a couple and you've got the feels, pop a ball there. Now if I do this with a golf ball, and I do it at the same speed as what I've just done, this ball isn't going to go much more than about 20 yards. And that's absolutely fine. We're not looking to add speed just yet. We're just looking to create some ideas and some feels. So there's my starting position. I'm just going to go hit the golf ball, and there's my finish position. Now, for many of you, this will feel incredibly different. For those of you who've been a little bit more back with the hips, haven't really extended through the pelvis, chest points more down to the ground, those golfers are probably going to be hitting the fades and the slices. This is going to be a very, very new feeling for you. Now, if you find that extremely difficult, and many of you will, what I would suggest is removing the golf club and just trying that without the golf club to begin with. So I'm actually going to take my arms out of this. I'm going to take my setup position. I'm going to place my arms across my chest, and I'm going to try initially and just get that feeling without the golf club. So I'm starting to take this back a little bit and make it a little bit simpler. Hips are going to go around, face the target, and chest is going to start to extend more and up towards the sky. So once I get a little bit more comfortable with that movement, and I start to be able to replicate that movement, I can then introduce the golf club again. So we're really trying to pitch this drill at the level that suits the golfer. If you feel that's quite easy to do without the club, fine, let's go with the golf club. But many of you will actually find that a little bit more difficult. Now, what we can then do is we can start to put a little bit more of a dynamic move into this. So rather than starting from here, we can start to make some little swings and move into that follow-through position. So that would look a little bit more like this. Again, belt buckle's at the target, chest is at the sky, belt buckle is more forward than my upper body. So we've got sort of 3 stages to this drill, really. We've got the one without a golf club. That would be sort of level 1. Level 2 would be to start with the golf club in this position here and then focus on what the hips are doing and the chest. And then stage number 3 would be to start to put a little bit more of a dynamic motion into that. And the level at which you pitch your practice is going to be based on how easy or how difficult you find these drills. We don't really want to try and get you to do number 3 if you can't do it at level 1. So let's start at level 1, see how you get on, move, progress to level 2 and level 3, but it might take different amounts of time for every golfer. So really important that we get this area, the hips and the pelvis, to move correctly through the golf ball. If we can do that, that is going to do a couple of things for us. It's going to ensure that our strike is good. It's going to ensure that we can hit the ground after the ball, which is essential for good ball striking. And it's also going to help us create a more neutral club path. And again, that's really, really important for the direction. So this is a drill which is going to hopefully help you strike the ball better and also control the curve on your golf ball a little bit better. So let's just do another one where I'm at level 3. So I'm taking my setup, a little bit more of a dynamic move. And there's my finish position when my chest is up to the sky, belt buckle is at the target. Once you feel comfortable at that level, then you can go and try and introduce it to your full swing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to hit a full 7-iron and hopefully achieving that end position. And again, hopefully you can see there that I've achieved those looks that I did in that drill. Chest is more up towards the sky, belt buckle is forward. I've certainly extended through my pelvis, and that's going to give me that finish position that we tend to see all the good players in. And there is a reason why they finish there, because that is the best way to deliver the club and to use the body for the most efficiency and the most power. So hopefully that drill helps. Have a go. Let me know how you get on in the comments box down below. There's also a like button down there as well, so if you did like the video, please click that because it really does help me. And if you haven't done already, then please make sure you subscribe to my channel. There is a link down below in the description box. There's loads of content on my channel and more being uploaded each week, so clicking that button just means that you won't miss any of that. Right, thank you again very much for watching, and we will see you again next time.